Ladies and gentlemen, there is this saying outside in the political arena that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is lacing up again. And after the death of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, that Uhuru now is becoming very powerful. And some people are saying that he is powerful and he is like the Raila we used to know, even if he may not go to the streets, even if he may not be seen to be quite aggressive. Because when people look at the current political arena, they see that the only man who actually can work for the entire Kenya is Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And people have started believing that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is becoming very much liked by the people of Kenya. Because as you can remember, before 2022 election, we had people who used to believe that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was actually one of the worst political leaders. And that is why they could not actually like him endorsing Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. And that is why they rejected by then his endorsement of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga to get up leadership from him. But all of a sudden, people have started believing that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is such a good person. And that is why, even at this time, he is working with Fred Okengo Matiang'i. And many people doesn't have issues with that. The same way they had issues when he had endorsed Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga to stop at presidency in 2022 presidential election. So that is actually what I want us to have as a candid discussion. We want to look at it. Why is all of a sudden Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is becoming a darling of the Kenyans? And why, even in Mount Kenya, people feel that it is now time for Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta to give a directive on what the Mulima should do, even if there is also that part of Rigathi Gachagua being the kingpin of Mount Kenya, the space which Rigathi Gachagua has actually fought. And many people say that it is now official. It is Rigathi Gachagua who is the king of the mountain. But before we dive and try to have that kind of conversation, I could like to request you kindly, please today, just do this for me. Actually subscribe, like this video, hit the notification bell so that all the moment I come up with any political content, YouTube can be in that position to notify you so that you can watch the content. And also, doing all this actually does not make you to incur anything, but you could have promoted this YouTube channel to grow. And I would also like to thank those individuals who have actually subscribed to this YouTube channel, and they always keep watching our videos because those are the people who are giving us the inspiration so that we can continue coming up with this kind of political analysis. Having said that, let me now go back to the discussion. Why all of a sudden people are liking Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta so much? Because it is also even shocking me that this time people are saying that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is a better president than William Samoei Arap Ruto. Why is that all of a sudden? I think by this time, people have started comparing the notes of William Samoei Arap Ruto and the notes of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And they have started seeing probably that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta performed better than, uh, than what President William Samoei Arap Ruto is doing recently. And probably because of that comparison, that is why people, all of a sudden, they have actually started liking Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And many people have started associating themselves with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And also remember, it is Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta who warned the people of this republic against choosing uh, William Samoei Arap Ruto for presidency of this nation. And because he had warned people in advance, and the people never heed to his advice. And now, what he had told the people that you are going to elect somebody into power who is actually going to make you suffer. And probably people are feeling the pinch of the economy. People are feeling the pinch of the suffering. And now that is why people are saying, Kumbe, this man knew what he was telling us. And probably that has also made people to start loving Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta all over again. And that is why even in Mount Kenya, there is such a big confusion. Who is the kingpin of Mount Kenya? Because in Mount Kenya, we can now categorically say we have two kingpin. There are people who believe that in Mount Kenya, it is Rigathi Gachagua who is the kingpin of the mountain. But we have also people who feel that now it is Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta who is actually commanding Mount Kenya as a block. And there is a lot of discussion between that. And also we have people who believe that because Rigathi Gachagua has been impeached by the current government, the current president, there are people who see mercy for Rigathi Gachagua. And there are people who are saying that those who feel that Rigathi Gachagua is the kingpin are those people who feel merciful for Rigathi Gachagua. But they are saying that people who are normally within Mount Kenya, they feel that it is Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta who is the kingpin of Mount Kenya, because some people are coming into that realization so that this man called Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has been warning us, and he warned us against voting for William Samoei Arap Ruto. And because the truth has come to pass, that is why for now we must give Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta that benefit of doubt, because now Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has come up with another formula, and now he's telling the people of Mount Kenya that it is time you board into Jubilee Fieko, because the person who can deliver this nation is Fred Okengo Matiang'i. And Uhuru is telling them that this is a practical thing. You had seen what Fred Okengo Matiang'i had done when he was my cabinet secretary in various ministries. He performed. And now people are feeling that we have actually to trust Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. And that is all of a sudden, people have started loving Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is becoming a lover of the Kenyans because of what he had said and what still he is saying. And also because he has come up with that practical candidature to the people of Kenya. And he's saying, you never trusted me that time. Why can't you trust me this time when I have come up with another person? And he is proposing Fred Okengo Matiang'i to be the presidential candidate of Jubilee and to go against William Samoei Arap Ruto. But as we are seeing all this, we also have people who feel that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is actually working for William Samoei Arap Ruto. And for those people with that school of thought, they believe in that because they believe that for William Samoei Arap Ruto to get re-elected, the mountain must be disorganized. The mountain must be made to move into different directions. And that is why in this match between Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and Rigathi Gachagua, it's going to break the mountain. Because if you look at what Rigathi Gachagua is doing currently, Rigathi Gachagua is trying to tell the people that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is the person who has always been standing with us. And we had promised that we were going to give back to Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka because remember, he stood with Emilio Kibaki. Let us actually have him as the presidential candidate of the united opposition. And because also Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is insisting that we should have Fred Okengo Matiang'i as a candidate. And that is actually going to play to the trap of William Samoei Arap Ruto. Let's say if Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka goes to the ballot and also Fred Okengo Matiang'i goes to the ballot. And that means the united opposition splits into two. Who is going to benefit? Definitely, William Samoei Ruto is going to benefit. And there are people who are seeing that. There are people who are reading that. And there are people who are warning Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta that you should not insist that it is what? It is Fred Okengo Matiang'i who is going to stop at presidency. You should not. Because probably people will actually see, probably you are trying to divide the united opposition. And that is why early on, there was a time when Ndewa actually came out, who is a very close associate of Rigathi Gachagua and Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. And he had told the people of Mount Kenya that, look at this person who is called Fred Okengo Matiang'i. He is a mole of the government. He is an operative of the government. Why? It's because they felt that the way Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was coming and stamping all the authority, that we must have Fred Okengo Matiang'i. This probably had annoyed Rigathi Gachagua. So if that also was to happen, probably the people could see Rigathi could see Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta as a person who is actually working for the government. But those people with that school of thought, they are not many. But many people now believe that because at one moment we had overlooked the advice of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and that is why we are now doing what? We are suffering. And now let us try to hear his advice. And because Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is coming up with a person who is a performer, who is known to perform. That is why now he is getting that chance of being liked by the people of this nation. In your own thought, why do you think all of a sudden Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is actually becoming a darling of the Kenyans? Please drop your comment why you think that is so in the comment section below. And if this is your first time, as I have requested, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can always be notified to watch any political content that we upload into YouTube. Also, give a like this video, and remember, doing all that is actually for free. And for those ones who have actually subscribed to this YouTube channel and they always keep watching our videos. I say thank you. May God bless you, because you really give us the inspiration to continue coming up with this kind of political analysis. And with that, I say thank you. May God bless you all abundantly until we meet in our next political discussion. Goodbye.